Hey there. This is Jessica Collins from forestbathingcentral.com, and I am popping on here right now to talk about forest bathing wilderness traditions, which, that's the title. And this is like take 4 of this video. I was going to take a video at the actual cabin we stayed at this past weekend, because that's kind of what this is all about. And when I went to do it, it was raining like bad. And then we had to go. So that didn't work. Then I took one and I had the whole thing done, and I realized I did it in the vertical position, which if you know anything about like posting on YouTube and stuff, it's a huge no-no. Then I did another one. My daughter was crying in the background because she needed to go inside, and so I had to stop and start over because she wanted to go back inside. So anyway, this is like take 4, so hopefully we get it this time and you guys enjoy. So I'm gonna tell you a little story before because this whole thing is gonna come back around from this story, the wilderness traditions that I'm getting at here. So we used to, and when I say we, my family, which my 2 sisters and my mom and dad, every year we went to Uncle Bud's cabin. Okay, now Uncle Bud, I believe, was my dad's great uncle, and I'm not even sure. Like, all the people there were related to me somehow, and I didn't really know how. It was like a huge reunion of extended family. But it was so much fun. And I mean, you're going to hear this in my voice, how fun this was, and why I want to bring these traditions for my own children. So we used to go to Uncle Bud's, and it was in like northern Wisconsin, and it was something we did every year and look forward to. It was, oh my gosh, we're going to Uncle Bud's this weekend, yes! And we would go there, and Uncle Bud's was a cabin way back off the road. So like, I don't even know how long the driveway was, but it had to be like a good mile or more back into the woods. And the cabin was a nice, like, it wasn't a cabin, it was a house basically with all the amenities of a house. So we weren't uncomfortable at all. And when we were there, we just chatted. It was just the warmest place to be, like, just warm and comforting and inviting. I mean, when you walked in the door, you smelled all the food. There was ham, there was turkey, there was duck, there was venison, there was everything. And all kinds of fruits, vegetables, salads, whatever. And it was pretty much like a buffet that went all day. Well, I'm sure they kept things like refrigerated that needed to be refrigerated, but I just remember eating. And I remember walking the trails, and I don't know if this was their land or like public land behind them, but we walked for miles. We would take my grandma, or we'd go with my parents, and we'd just walk for miles. And it was always at the end of September or early October when the trees turn around here, like they are in that hill back there. Isn't that beautiful, that bouquet of colors? It's my favorite. But that's what it looked like all around us there. And we would go on the trails, and there were like old abandoned cabins back there. Like, you've seen those old abandoned buildings and you always want to go inside. Well, we got to go inside, and it was really cool but creepy at the same time. Like, during the day you could probably handle it, and at night you'd probably not want to be there. So like yikes, something scary would definitely pop out of there in a horror movie. So there were like, all that was left, I remember in one of them, was like springs from a bed and some random silverware on the floor, and it was really kind of creepy. And like, there were walls, but like the ceiling, there was a tree growing in it. It was really weird, but it was really cool. It's like you've always wanted to go in those buildings and check them out, and we actually got to. And then I remember there was a river behind there, and they had a canoe, and I believe one time we went out on the canoe and onto like an island that was behind, but it was all very wildernessy, like trees everywhere. And I don't know, it was just my favorite thing, and I look forward to it so much every year. And then one year Uncle Bud got sick, and his wife got sick, and I actually am not really entirely sure what happened. and they no longer did these big family reunions, and I think eventually their kids took over the cabin, but you know, they don't do these big groups anymore, so I'm not like entirely sure. Maybe my dad knows. I'm not really sure, but anyway, that was so sad when it stopped. And I remember feeling in college like I missed it so bad. I wanted to recreate it somehow. And then when I had my son, I really wanted to recreate it for him, because those are my biggest memories growing up and some of my most profound nature experiences growing up. And I really wanted to recreate this. And you know, like, as a parent, like, you have to create that for your kids. And so I started scoping out cabins. Now, we don't do huge family reunions, but I can take my little family and we can kind of do our own thing and recreate this. So we started scoping out cabins, and we've decided every October to find a cabin and stay there and check out the nature. Ooh, it's getting a little cold, so if I start shivering, it's because it's cold out here and I don't have much sun left, but I'm really trying to get this video done for you guys. So yeah, so we found one cabin and we really loved it. They even had like a little airstrip, like you could land a plane in their yard, but it was gorgeous. I've got some pictures that like weren't edited and they looked fake. It was so gorgeous there. But they had a loft bedroom that had this really dangerous set of stairs that went up to it, so when our daughter was born, it's not safe for her. And there's no way to block her from going up them either, because it's open behind, so like she could crawl into it and then up. There's no way to gate it or anything. So we didn't want to go back there last year, so we found a new one, and we've decided to go back there every year because the people are amazing. Their cabin is 1 mile off the road. Like, their driveway goes back a mile into the woods, and the little cabin is so cute, and it's got enough stuff in it. It's got running water, hot water, it's got enough beds for us. It's got they had like a TV with a DVD player, so the kids are good at night, and it's just really cozy. Like, we just kind of get cozy and just like disconnect and walk in nature, and we love it. And the little cabin is right on a trout stream too, so it's got like every piece of nature that I was looking for, and the trees were changing, and the people who own it have a koi pond, and they have chickens, and so there's all kinds of wildlife and stuff to do there, and we don't even have to leave there. This time we did leave there. We went to Wisconsin Dells because it was like 70 degrees and beautiful, and we let the kids run around Wisconsin Dells. If you've ever been there, it's called the water park capital of the world, and it's a super touristy city. We took them to a trampoline park, and we took them to a deer park and stuff. So, but anyway, the reason we go there is to recreate this feeling and this tradition for my own kids that I adored growing up, and I want my children to experience the same thing, and I want them to experience nature, and I want to nurture their love of nature, and this is one of the ways that we do it, is with this tradition. So I just challenge you to kind of maybe think about this and put together your own tradition for your family or yourself. Once a year, just visit some kind of forest, or make it a point to visit a different forest each time. Now, we used Airbnb, so we stayed at a couple's cabin, like this, somebody just rented out an extra cabin that they had. So that's a really great way to find a cabin that you love, or find a nature area that you love, is to go on there. Because their entire description told us exactly what we needed, that their driveway was a mile off the road, it was wooded, they have a trout stream, like, this was perfect, and I knew from the description. So I just challenge you to think about this and maybe give it a thought about putting together some kind of tradition for your own family or yourself, because this is the second year we've gone there, and it's just becomes such a cool thing that we're gonna be looking forward to every October from now on, as long as these people rent out their cabin. And I mean, I hope that goes on for a while, because I definitely love this for my kids, and I want them to grow up with this appreciation of nature that I had that stemmed a lot from Uncle Bud's and my grandma. She always was going on hikes with us, collecting things from nature to decorate with, and like I find myself doing a lot of the things that she did. So yeah, I'm just trying to instill this kind of thing in my own kids. And so this wilderness tradition of ours is going to keep going on as long as we can do it. And I mean, even if something were to happen where this couple didn't have the cabin anymore, I'm sure we'll continue finding another one and doing the same type of thing every October, because it's just amazing. Oh, and like the smells too, the experience, all of it. This is kind of silly, but I made this huge pot of homemade chicken noodle soup there, and like when you walked in the door and smelled that, it was just so comforting. It was just like that smell when you walked into Uncle Bud's. It's just like that smell when you walk in your grandma's house, and it's just another way to bring that warmth into the whole situation and just create that whole experience for my kids. So I hope this is at least a little inspiring for you and gets you thinking, because it's just so powerful to me, and I hope it is for you. So leave a comment, let me know what you think, let me know if you have any similar experiences. I love hearing from you guys, so please be in touch and we'll chat soon.